Hey guys, what's going on? Outdoorsman 1 here. Got a couple packages from Cali Raised LED. Really excited to get these things open and on the truck, but just to let you guys know, I do have my t-shirts and multiple other patches available. Check the link in my bio below. It'll take you to my website and show you all the cool stuff that I've now got. Jumping in to this unboxing. I got this cute little knife from Ace Hardware. It's a Gerber kettlebell, I think is what they call it. I love knives, as you guys know, but it's one of those payday, spend 30 bucks on a knife kind of things. I like it. All right, here's box number 1. It's been sitting in the sun all day because I just got home from work, and so it's warm. And here is number 2. This one might be a little bit more self-explanatory. Yeah, like I said, probably a little bit more self-explanatory than not, but just got some Molly panels. I do have a onboard mapping tablet now that is going to be mounted on the passenger Molly panel. So the ram arms are going to come up from here, and then my tablet will be facing inward so I can do off-road mapping and stuff. So these came just in time. Got a trip going this weekend, but I don't think the other part will be here. I have all the RAM mounts, I have the tablet, I have all the mounts that I need except for the mount that goes from the RAM arm to the tablet, so the X grip thing. Anyways, doesn't matter because it's not here. So let's jump into this guy. This one I'm super stoked about. Super stoked about. I needed this for a long time. Let's just show you. It's a switch panel. I didn't want to spend a whole ton of money on a Switch Pro because honestly the features of a Switch Pro don't justify the cost to me. This was like $180, $199, something like that, and it still comes with your harness and leads and everything, so you can still take care of business right. And it's got tactile buttons all off on it. It has a memory, so whatever you turn on, you turn off. And so I'm really excited about this. I've definitely needed this for a long time. Now the real question is, where do I mount it? Because I'm undecided on how I want to mount this. Whether I want to mount this in the same place that I have everything mounted currently, which is kind of the idea, or if I want to mount it kind of up more so I can just press the buttons as needed. Undecided on that, so we'll see where that goes. But look at this. Okay, so you've got your whole relay for all 8 with independent fuses. extra fuses, which is really nice. All sorts of amperages. And then a high gauge wire. I'm really happy about that. That is not just some dinky little wires. That's really nice. You've got all of your different buttons for different, even like heated seats. Nice. Cool. Whip. Everything you might need. Okay. Then it's going to give you little instructions on how to do it. You got mounting brackets and the relay wire that goes through your firewall. So this will cut down significantly the amount of stuff you're shoving through your firewall. So you have only this coming inside your vehicle instead of all of the wires under the sun. So that's really nice. It even comes with the zip ties required down there. That's super awesome. Really happy about that. And then here you can see more of the zip ties. And then all of your mounting hardware and an add fuse, which is super nice that they include this, because a lot of the kits don't, and this is just like one of those $8 things to get from you know, what do you call it, AutoZone. But you get halfway through your project and you're like, damn it, I need it. So that's really nice that they include that, and then you're all taken care of. So say that again.
You got yourself some wires there, bud.
All right, guys, I'm here with Max. Taco Tuesday.
It's gonna be a long night
on Instagram. We are finally gonna remove the cluster of wires going on in my truck.
At least they're clean.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, actually, I think I have a cleaner for that too.
Okay, that'll be good. Regardless, I've been wanting to do this for a while. The previous owner put about 3 square miles of copper wiring in my truck, and I have not cleaned it all out yet. I've cut the wires in multiple places, but I just haven't pulled it out because I haven't had a switch controller. But as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, I got the Cali Raised switch controller. It's just the not Switch Pro one that costs $1,000. So pretty much now we're going to strip everything out, put it on the switch controller, and rock and roll. I'm not going to make a whole video out of this, just kind of.
If you know where to sell copper wire, though, you might be able to buy the better switch controller.
We probably have enough. So, all right, here we go. All right, well, we got that off, and the previous owner did this wonderful configuration, which I actually, truth be told, your fingers in front of that. Truth be told, I actually kind of like this, but you can see it's really dirty, and it started to crack. So I'm actually going to put the switch controller in right here, and hopefully that'll take care of that issue. But yeah, I actually like this because I could strobe the lights if I needed to. And then back in my old rack, I'll put a picture here. Back on the old rack, I was able to kick the side and the angled lights and the side perimeter lights on. Kind of like that, but yeah, definitely some tomfoolery afoot here. That is gonna be fun. Nice. Okay, well, stay tuned. All right, Max, it's like 1:30 in the morning.
It's going great. The install is going great. You know, we've gotten to
2 o'clock.
We've installed nothing, but we've de-installed a lot. You had a lot of copper wire. We're gonna make some bucks, dude.
We've pulled all of this out. Decided to say no more ham or CB. We cleaned up the battery a little bit, so that's nice. Have a nice day. She's cute. Now it's clean. It doesn't look clean, but we promise
It's clean.
it's clean.
There are no fire hazards that we know of. There were a lot before.
And we kind of don't want to find them if there are any.
There was actually a cool feature to this truck. It's dope. Well, what it was, right, is we had wire running to this thing right here. And what we were doing with it is it was powering the smarts on that. Extra fuel mileage.
Yeah, we had an electronic front left disc.
Left too. We're good.
Okay. All right. Time to put the switch controller in now.
All right, let's go.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and unbox this. Oh, it comes with stickers. Good. That's good. And instructions. Also very good. Eight gang. Yeah, we don't want that. I kind of already showed you guys what it looks like, so this is what it looks like. Doors and open. So pretty much what we're planning on doing is putting this on top of the existing fuse box, and then just running kind of the wires into there until I get one of those power trays or whatever. But at least it'll all be installed at that point. These wires pretty much just going to run from the battery to this, and then hopefully we are praying, Lord of hosts, that this wire is long enough to run to where we need it. Alright, well, you know it's a good point when we finally get to the point. I said point a couple times, probably because it's 2:30 in the morning. Battery's back in. Hopefully the truck starts. Got the battery back in, got the battery cleaned up. Now we're just clamping it down. If you want to take a gander in here, this is kind of what we got going on. Clean that up so that's mounted to the top. This is the only thing that's running back through the firewall now, and that's going to run to the center console. This we're pretty sure is for the backlighting. The instructions don't even really say, so pretty sure this wire is for the backlighting for the control switch, which we'll look at kind of when we get there. It's 2:30 in the morning and we're trying to get this done. So pretty much from here, I just bolted it into the top, so you can disconnect it here if I needed to get in there. Didn't affect any of the description on the back, and then also the doors open up and you can put your things in there, and cool, it's good to go. So we'll kind of run the wires along this way, eliminating all of the cluster that was happening there. Kind of got the auxiliary wires for the secondary battery and all that stuff running elsewhere, so let's get her done. Hi. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're done. Mostly. Come take a gander. Hopefully this looks better than it did. Still need to get this mounted. This is the tether wire. But now really the only thing I have going here is my winch cables, my auxiliary wires, and then the wires that go to my switch controller. Here I've got my ditch lights, and then here I have my top rigid light bar. Cool, that's good to go. The only annoying thing was, the hardest part was figuring out how I wanted to run my wire, because the switch panel needs to have power to it for it to be active, which is kind of a safety feature, I'm assuming. I just realized where that other bolt goes. We had an extra. Go figure. It's a big game of Legos. Anyways, it's a lot cleaner. Let's look at all of the wire that we pulled out. I'd say there was another half of that from what I pulled out. I'd probably say there's another half that I pulled out previously, because it went up the A-pillar through the roof because the dumbass drilled holes in the roof. All of those have been fixed now. Now, for the switch panel to be on, my headlights have to be on. It's on the same ADA-fuse that I have my Raptor lights. So I'll show you guys where, towards the end of this, where that is. I'll crop that in at this point. But let's turn it on. I'll show you kind of briefly real quick. And I'm gonna go for a drive around the block just to make sure everything's connected, because we pulled the battery out and everything, so you just want to make sure. Everything is now out. I pulled the ham radio out because the ham radio antenna got busted. I pulled off of my little angle iron here at the CB because later we'll be putting that those MOLLE panels on here. So this is going to come off, this is going to come off. I need to pull this because I put this on with rivets, never thinking that I'd pull it out, but it is what it is. So the MOLLE panels are going to go along right here, and I'll mount my ham and my CB onto that, and then my tablet is going to go over here. But that's different. This is the switch controller like I was showing you. Let's go ahead and fire the truck up. Okay, so you can see that there is light to the backlighting on the switch controller is active. If I turn off my headlights, you can see that that goes away. DRLs, no, works. Okay, so that's cool. Then I've got my on-off feature, but since I haven't selected any of the lights yet, that isn't going to do anything. This one is my ditch lights. Okay, as you can see, the ditch lights are working, both of them, the Cali Raised. Use my discount code for 5% off. Throw my plug in. Then the top rigid light bar. Okay, now seeing that they're both on, you got that little red light right there. If I hit the on button or on-off button, it'll kick both of them off, and since they were both previously selected and this has a memory to it, both will turn back on if I hit the on button again, which is a cool feature. I figured this isn't going to be an issue for the time being until I get the power tray, get things relocated and situated, because I'm always going to have my headlights on when I'm using my light bars. I wouldn't be able to think of a situation where that wouldn't be the case. So that being said, it works. The only downside is if I turn my headlights off, it loses that memory, but if you turn your vehicle off, it'll lose that memory anyways. But benefit to doing all this, I was able to kind of clean up the center console a little bit more. We used 3M tape on the back because, as you saw, there were a bunch of holes drilled there. So we just used 3M tape. We just did it because we started getting tired. Yeah. But we'll reevaluate that. I'm not totally sold that this is going to stay here indefinitely. I'll have to get a new center console if I do move it. But I do like the idea of having it a little bit more up here. Might mount it at an angle, but then it'll be hard to get to my USB, my aux, and my A-track button. Not that I use those buttons very much to begin with. So we'll see as that evolves. But as of right now, that works for me. Alright guys, I'm going to go drive around the block, make sure the truck still works and everything's good. Thanks for staying,
Go.
Thanks for watching the video. It's taken about 6 hours to get it fully done. Granted, if you don't have any lights mounted, if you don't have any lights wired up, so you don't have to take that out, and you don't have wires running all around your truck like crazy, that you're not going to need to do that. So it shouldn't take you that long. Would you agree, Max?
Yeah.
Okay. It shouldn't take you more than 2 hours to do, assuming that the previous owner of your truck didn't have an endless supply of wires. Alright guys, it's 2 days later, and I'm finally done with the switch controller and everything for now. I've still got 4 open switches, so I've used 4 of them now. which is better than what you saw the other night, and I cleaned it up a ton. Let's take a look. Okay, so those lights are going, and here is just a top-down view, so you guys can see how much cleaned up, how much more cleaned up it is. I'm gonna go wide angle, so if it's distorted, that's why. But let's kick this guy open. Cali Raised LED switch panel. Let's see. Okay, top down. Here are my Cali Raised LED ditch lights running on a 30 amp fuse. No issues there. Then I've got my cargo lights running on a 20 amp. I'll probably switch these two to 10 because the cargo lights don't use much at all because they're LEDs. Then on this side, I've got the rigid light bar that I've got up top, also on a 30 amp fuse. Definitely going to leave that there because it uses a lot of power. And then my chase lights from Extreme LED, little smorgasbord of every LED company. And that's also running on a 20 amp. Then these are all put on connectors now, so the wires aren't just jammed in there. So let's close that. Also, another addition from the other night, you can see I drilled this into there, used some silicone on that, so that's nice and sealed. Also, I drilled a hole straight through the fuse box into there so that I can have the constant power for the switch controller just going straight through, so there's not another extra wire hanging out over the side. All right, guys, so with this, like I said, I've still got 4 more, and I've run all 4 of these for 5 minutes and there were no issues. None of the fuses popped and they all kept running. But as you can see, this is so much more organized from what it was before, and I just couldn't be more happy. These 2 wires run down along the frame, so they are behind heat shield. They're next to the exhaust because that is the exhaust outlet right there, that rusted piece. But they are behind heat shield, so not too worried about that. These guys pretty much run to the front here, so there's a lot going on, but also not that much going on at the same time, and it looks relatively organized, which I'm happy about. So let's kick them all on, show you that they all work. So another thing I noticed about the switch controller is that right there, you can't really see anything because it's during the daytime, but that is a light sensor. So if you put your finger over that, these will dim during the day. Also, be looking for the video on this because I now have my tablet mounted. But ditch lights, top light bar, rear, and cargo lights. So you can see these guys are on, those guys are on. Utah Overland. Okay, and now we have the chase lights, which now that they're on the proper gauge wiring are a lot brighter than they were previously. Then you can see I need to hide those wires a little bit more, but I've got all of the lights for my cargo area bed section. So guys, thanks for watching the video. I also finished my compressor setup today. I've been here at the storage unit for like 6 hours, but I finished everything up for the compressor, so that now runs independently. I'm not putting that on the switch controller because I had to use 8 gauge wire. Actually, it might have been 6 gauge wire from the front to the back on my auxiliary line. So I'm just using the on-off switch on the controller. But stay tuned for that video. It's only been a year in the making, and now everything's almost done. So, well, it's never done. But get ready for these huge things that I was talking about the other day. I've got a lot coming in the next couple months. Well, I've got a lot coming in the next 3 weeks, actually. So be good, be dangerous, be ready, guys. And we'll see you on the trail. All right, we'll catch you next time.